Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Are you up to the challenge? That's our topic plus updates. Today is June 6th of 2024. It's Thursday at 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees Celsius at 8:35 p.m. Are you up to the challenge? The challenge is a thimble, any old thimble, porcelain, plastic, metal, whatever you can get. Can you grow a mini bonsai tree in it? This is a maple. You can use a cutting, or you can find a little tree that's growing someplace and pull it out and get enough root to stick in there, or start it from seed. That's the challenge, because everybody's doing these big challenges, these big trees. This, the thimble, you can probably get them for about $5-6, and then everything else is free. The soil is free, whatever you use. The moss is free, whatever you use. But look at it, and that's a maple. Can you do it? Can you do the challenge? Let's see who can go out there and really put a video out with one of these little minis. But the trick is you got to keep them watered 3 times a day. First, here's a survivor. Here's Scott's. His original didn't grow, didn't survive the winter. And I had this outside, and it was a fierce wind out there, and it blew everything all over the place. I had 2. This is the only one I could find. So I repotted it, and it's draining. So Scott, keep your fingers crossed on that. And then, that was Scott's day. That's Scott from Let's Do Bonsai. Now, Jay from Blue Jay Bonsai. Here's your Trident maple. I don't know. Nothing has turned out to grow yet, but you can see the branches are still a nice rich red, and the trunk doesn't look like it's dying, but I see no growth on it. There's a little root over here, but what I'm going to do is take my ironwood tool and just give it a snip, and that's a little bit hard to see, but you can see it's still white on the tip, so maybe it's still going to grow. Jay, I got my fingers crossed. Hey, some of mine, which one was it? My pomegranate slept all the way till August. So let's see what this guy does. I'm going to say, everybody says you can't do a Catalpa as a bonsai. Why not? This Catalpa's got to be at least 5 years old. And I got this from my niece, whose friend had them growing in the yard, and she dug them up, and 1 out of the 3 survived. But you can see the nice top on it. It doesn't have the giant leaves. And you can see how the lipstick's still holding on to pruning. I repotted this. This is called Old Dan. I repotted it on 8/25 of 2023. So you can still see it's growing. You can see the lipstick still on there from the winter, still holding good. And I probably could prune it a little bit to bush it out, but right now from the winter, I have to leave it get some vim and vigor. I'm going to take my ironwood pruners now. This is the good one for those of you with arthritis. This is a smaller one. It's good for up to 5/8. And there's just one dead stem here that I'm just going to cut off. If I can get it in there. Just like that. And that's a ratcheting pruner that Ironwood sells too. No, I don't get money for endorsing them. I endorse them because a good tool is a good tool, and a good tool is hard to find. Yeah, just cutting off some of the dead ones. I don't know, it's hard to see because I don't have all that fancy camera work. But you can see how nice a Catalpa grows. Why not? Give it a shot. Now I planted the seeds in in the fall of 2023, but nothing came up yet. So I don't know. I'll pull out the pots and see if anything really did come up. But you can see, I don't know, let me take this guy off. You can see the nice root flare starting to get out right there. So it's something different. Everybody's doing ginkgos, everybody's doing maples, everybody's doing all these fancy trees, but why not the native? A Catalpa. Give it a try. And Jay, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Jay from Blue Jay Bonsai on this Trident maple. Let's see what happens. And Scott, I hope this one turns out good. I'm going to put it out. All these are going back outside. And you can see the red from the sun on it. So this ground is good and wet. It had no roots on it. So I don't know what happened to the roots. And I got the Peace River gravel. And yep. So we'll see what goes on. So who's up for the challenge? Who's going to be brave enough to do a thimble bonsai? It's not going to cost you much. I don't want you to spend a lot of money. You can get a thimble cheap. If your grandma has an old thimble she don't want, ask her if you can have it. You can even get a porcelain one. They're cheap too. They're like $5 or $6. But even if you spend $1 on it, go to the thrift stores. Maybe they got some thimbles there. This is a metal one. It's a little wear and tear, but hey, it's growing. Look at that. That's my maple. So today is Thursday night. It's book night. Shut the phone off, shut the TV off, shut the videos off. Take a half hour to an hour and sit down with a cup of tea and read a book. Get your mind off all that electronic junk. Go for it. So, if you think you can do the challenge, Nigel, if you're listening, can you do the thimble challenge? Jay, Ryan, Dave, Banner, who else? Patricia, Gerardo, Matt, Mr. T from Taco Bonsai, Gavin, everybody else there, I can't remember all the names. Who can do a thimble bonsai with moss? Hey, Cherry, she got a good moss video. Can you do a moss thimble? Let's see. Who can do it? Who can do it? I'll be watching. You take care, everybody, and have a good night, cup of tea, and a good book.